I don't think I've quite ever experienced something like that. Jason and I were just talking about it. We harnessed 6 horses to go behind the gate today. 2 to qualify, obviously. 1 raced in Southern Ohio, 1 raced in Washington, Pennsylvania, and 2 here at Northfield. Now, I did an earlier video, and it's just as well I didn't post it. So I was joking about how, at least Ducati won't run. Any run. So, how do we put together today? I woke up. The whole day was a complete shit show from day one. From moment one. I opened my eyes to the sound of freezing rain hitting the window in Macedonia at the place we rent. So I knew right away. I opened my... I thought the rain was supposed to start. It changed. It said it was supposed to start at 11 o'clock. It was not supposed to be freezing rain. And then I crossed the border. And I got a weather alert as I was driving through New York that the rain was going to be early, which would make it very difficult to train horses. So I hadn't even get out of the bed yet. I'm not even out of the crib yet. And I can hear the rain pounding the window. Get a shower, go outside. Sure enough, there's no shot the horses are training. I go by the barn and talk to everybody. They were still jogging. I said, all the horses that are easy on themselves can have the day off. The ones that are wound up and a little crazy and really can't get a day off, they have to do a little work. So as I left to go to the meadows, Jason was training some of the 3-year-olds. He said they trained well. There's still maybe 4 or 5 to train tomorrow, I think. Maybe 3 or 4. So the horses got moved. The 3-year-olds got trained again, 1.25 miles in the pouring rain. Not really a whole lot to report. I was expecting to get to the meadows, win with LD's Patrick. Tim said he had trained good, and by all accounts, he was right. He felt good. Here's a horse that, honestly, somebody messaged me a month ago and said, why are we selling this? I can't remember what horse it was. Why are we selling this horse and you protect LD's Patrick? Fair question. Very fair question. The reason I protect LD's Patrick is because I like him. But that even a father's love can only go so far, as they say. So, got away quiet. The whole race looked exhausted. Now, I was climbing over the horse in front of me. It was muddy out. I felt that if I could just get him to the backstretch and get him moving, that I was going to be a winner. That's easy to say after the race and after you had made a break. And I didn't realize how important that break was. That was the first break of 6 on the day. Not very often. In fact, I don't ever remember racing 6 horses and they all make a break. Never. That I can ever remember. Jason and I joked about it. The old Ron Burgundy line. I'm not even angry. I'm impressed. That is tough to do. It is. So, LD's Patrick just gets doubled up, and you could tell he hit himself. He stung himself. I can even tell you where. The left hind pastern down low. Now, we have boots to cover it, and there's no mark there, but I guarantee he stung himself. Because he made a break for an extended break for like 7 or 8 strides. Maybe even 10. And then he come back trotting and like nothing had happened. And when they do that, that's usually ouch. Something bit him. Something stung him. If I had moved him before that, would he have been all right? I don't know. And quite frankly, the problem I had with the earlier video is I spent 4 minutes just talking about LD's Patrick. And to be quite frank, the people that don't own him don't care and don't want to listen to it. People that do own him with me, my partners, you don't want to hear about it because this has been ongoing for a while. He's almost there. He's going to win. He's schooled good. He looked good. He trained good. And then just go out and make breaks. Here's a horse with, 11 or 12 starts since he came back. 1 win and the rest no checks. That's beyond unacceptable. As I said to somebody, he's worth $10,000. Rather not sell him to the Amish just yet. I don't have another reason why. I don't. Get in the car, I'm going down the road, turn on Walk on the Moon's race, stop for gas. He makes a break. Now, somebody sent me an email and said how, the horse had made, I don't know, I forget the number, like 6 breaks in the last 2.5 years. 5 of them were with Brett Miller. Well, I'm going to tell you something. That's not a Brett Miller problem. That's a Walk on the Moon problem. Brett Miller's a world-class driver that has done nothing, but him and Stacy have done nothing but good things for us over the last year and a bit, and I'm certainly not going to blame Brett Miller for Walk on the Moon making a break. Now, having said that, a couple of times a coincidence, a few times, all right, maybe they just don't like each other, and that's the way it is. It's fine. And quite frankly, I'm not certain that he's a big fan of Miami Valley anyway. Track can get hard, I guess. I don't know. So, 2 options, which are both heading in the same direction. I think it's probably makes more sense to send the horse back to the Meadows. Somebody had messaged me saying, can you go back to the Meadows? That was always the plan, but I had got a semen analysis done on Walk on the Moon because I thought that would, again, be another brick in the road to selling him as a roadster. I had reached out to a couple people after the race and said, listen, okay, big, beautiful black stud. Now's the time. So we'll see how that plays out over the next couple of days. Will he head to the Meadows? Yeah, his next race will be in the Meadows. And it makes all the sense in the world to leave him with Tim. Either send him to Tim or leave him with Tim. But running him up and down the roads is not necessary. So that is that. So there's 2 horses talked about. While this is all taking place, we have 2 horses qualifying. Now, little boo-boo. When I trained Sister Solange in 2-3, I come after 57. That was 2 weeks ago. I come off the track and I said, I don't even think this filly needs hobbles anymore. The next week, Jason Merriman trained her in 2-3, 2-2, something like that. And then he trained her again on Saturday and they raced her. Well, my quip after the training mile, and maybe I did mean it at the time, but I didn't know. We qualified Sister Solange without hobbles on tape. Now, she's schooled, trained down her whole life without hobbles, so it's not like it was this massive transition. But I think going behind the gate, she does need them coming out of the gate a little bit. She might need them in the first turn. When you put her in gear, stopping and starting. We talk about that all the time with the babies. Well, it's the same with the racehorses sometimes. And we'll talk about it later also. So Sister Solange made a break. And I didn't realize that we didn't have hobbles on her until afterwards. Jason said, she trained so good, maybe we should put the hobbles back on her. Yeah, I think we should. Clearly it was my fault for not being clear enough. Anyway, it doesn't matter. She would have needed 2 qualifiers. You know what was most important? The biggest takeaway from Sister Solange is that we've had a real problem getting her to and keeping her eating $8 lunch, $8 supper. So maybe we just need to be stretched out and see the starting gate. We'll qualify her with the hobbles on next week. There won't be a problem. She's got that series coming up in we might even miss the first leg at the Meadows. I don't really care. She's got a whole stake season ahead of her. So we'll see how that plays out with Sister Solange next Wednesday. Actually, we might even send her over to qualifier at Tim's and leave her there for a week because that's where the race is. We'll see how that plays out this week. I'm not too worried about it right now. And then kind of classy. I'm not going to make excuses for her. I've said it. She's got some talent, but she's rude and ignorant. So I'm going to train her tomorrow with the trot and hobbles on. She's going to train very hard tomorrow with the trot and hobbles on. And if she so much as lifts her head or makes a break, then she too can join Tim over there. And I'm sure Jacob, where you're right there where they can qualify her on a bigger track, maybe that's a better spot for her. I don't think so, but we'll see how she trains tomorrow. She's going to have to wow me tomorrow. Jason said she just went up to the gate and made a break. So, bit of a rude mare, to be honest. I'm not even going to, I don't even want to count her on the dance cards because she wants to, she wanted to be rude today, it sounded like, and she was. So, she's going to train with the hobbles on tomorrow, and she'd want to train really good or her tenure with us, although she's ready to go and ready to race, her tenure with us will come to a conclusion. And I'll talk to Jacob about that tomorrow. I haven't had a chance to message him. We were talking about breeding all afternoon, getting Kings County, the mares bred, and getting everything taken care of. We didn't talk about Kind of Classy, and we will tomorrow afternoon. And now it brings us to tonight. My only layup, my only certainty was that Stomer Ducati wouldn't run. Now, the rail's a tough spot to get away, and I did mention in the other video that I didn't post that, the track will either be really hard or really muddy, and it was hard. It was really hard. And his feet bother him, his knees bother him from time to time. His knees have been good, but on a track like tonight, yeah, it was a little tricky. I tried to put his nose on the gate and then just let him fall off, just like I did last week. And he just rolled off stride halfway down the stretch. And then when I moved him, he kind of hung a bit, and I scrubbed on him a bit. And, he finished up strong. But I think it was just the track. So if the track in Miami Valley is a little hard, they may want to go to maybe a foot block. Just tub him and block his feet up real good to race. I don't know if I'd go to a flip-flop because I think he'd probably interfere a little bit with it on. But he's, that was a pretty good last half for being 3 wide. And then if you watch the race, he's coming on again down the lane. There's no fault to the horse. It's just not a great track for him, and even worse for a filly that ties up it's 12:05 right now, and I just washed my face off at the barn. So her race went at about 11:45 after an entire day of pouring rain. The track wasn't great, and she probably could have used the hobbles tonight. The other day, nice, easy setting. The track was deep, and her toes were a little longer. Remember, I had said we had chopped a bunch of toe off of Blue Tesla. Just having her shot up to race, and I'm almost certain. Probably a little bit footsore, but a whole lot probably just a little tied up from today. Just the circumstances. You can't rain, be cold. It's 39 degrees, so it's at 3, 4, and it's damp and cool. Rained the entire night, rained all day, and for her to warm up in the rain, sit in the paddock, go out and race, I would bet good money that she cramped up a little bit. The blood will show that tomorrow. So just a horrible day. A continuation of some bad trajectories, both from Blue Tesla and LD's Patrick. Now, Blue Tesla, to get the hobbles on her, we'd have to go to Pennsylvania. So if her blood, if we don't find something, I thought she was a little sore up front, a little sore right hind especially, and if her blood comes back where the AST is not high, and we don't find enough where you'd say, 100% like a smoking gun type situation, definitely her hock's a little sore or stifle or whatnot, then I think we're going to have to go to the hobbles, and to do that, we'd have to race her in Pennsylvania. So that's an option for next week. LD's Patrick, he's coming to the end of the road, I think, and that's very upsetting. We got a lot of horses, but I am not, I am a sentimental fellow from time to time too, and I do like LD's Patrick, but even my love can only go so far. Walk on the Moon, I don't really think it was his fault today. Here's a horse that's really struggled in Miami Valley. We got to get him out of there. So probably bring him back up to the Meadows. But as this is all going on, we are still actively looking to sell him as a roadster stud. I think he is a stud. Beautiful black horse. That's what they're looking for. So that is where two very different finish lines, but they're both going in the same direction. He can go to the Meadows as he is being looked at, I would suspect. So we'll race him at the Meadows next week. HB Maestro's been sure-footed. I should be all right with him. It's been bad. Now, obviously, I was only at the wheel for half of the breaks today, but LD's Patrick was hard to watch. Stomer Ducati was a little shocking, but, I would say it's the track. We'll draw his blood, too. Don't think it's just the fillies that the tying up can affect. It could affect a stud horse, too, or a gelding also. And this isn't me trying to make a bunch of excuses. Listen, I don't have to come on and make a 14-minute video about what you watched. It was a shitty day, right, from start to finish. Didn't get to train the babies. All the horses made breaks. It's 12:10 at night, and I'm just getting back to the house. It's a shitty day, but now it's a new day. So I'm going to wake up tomorrow, train the horses, go race HB Maestro, watch Dustin Howard race, cheer for them both. one from behind the horse, the other one while watching on TV, and hope that we can salvage the rest of the week. It's a tough day. So with that, I'll let you guys go. There's no possible way you had a good day, not unless you won the lottery or found money on the ground or something, because we certainly didn't make any at the stable. So I'll talk to you tomorrow. Tomorrow is a new day. The babies are training tomorrow. It's supposed to be a beautiful day, plus 18 and sunny. It's going to be a beautiful morning. I'm going to head out of here and go drive a horse for Tim in the 7th. Then I'm going to drive HP Maestro, head back to Ontario, where it's going to go. It's pretty hard to believe, but Thursday at the Meadows, plus 19, with the wind chill. Friday morning, training the babies at Tamiko, or at First Line Training Center, it's going to be minus 15. 34 degrees in the difference in a 24-hour swing. So Amy and I are planning to train all the babies with James and Johnny and Danny and everybody else, and then come over to Ohio. Saturday we're going to train all the babies again here. So that's the plan for the rest of the week. Lots going on. The Delray horse, odds on Delray is Indigo this week. She's a sassy beach. I see drew the outside again. Man, she doesn't draw good. And the Huntsville Colts back in. So lots going on. As I said, my most excitement I see are the 3-year-olds getting close to the races, the aged horses coming back, the babies training well. And you know what? I'm sure it will be easy to forget about today around 11:30 tomorrow when I'm done training the babies. So I'll talk to you soon. Take care.